I just wanted to hop on here real quick because I want to try and talk to the camera a little bit more. I feel like the last few days have just been kind of rough, like anxiety wise. I know a lot of you guys are gonna know how this feels. Well, like you just have a few days where everything is off and everything that happens is overwhelming, even if it's just something small. It's like, oh, I need to cook myself some dinner. That sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, I've been trying to get a lot of jobs done because I have a lot of small things that need doing that I've just been putting off, and now there's so many of them that it feels like I have a lot to do. And it feels like if I finish one of the jobs, then there's still a whole load of more that I have to do. And yeah, they all go on top of each other, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do any of them. I'm going to push them to the side and deal with it later, and then I never do. And yeah, so I've been trying to whittle down some of those jobs. Yeah, there's still a few more things to do, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm starting to get on top of things. I find it helps a lot to make a list of things that you need to do because it helps to rationalize things in your brain, to see it in front of you and say, oh, that's not as much as I thought I had to do. And you can just do one or two every day. It's better than doing nothing every day. I actually applied for a job, which I was really excited about. Just nothing too crazy, just something different. And I thought, yeah, I'm finally ready. But it turns out that I may not have been correct there. Yeah. So I redid my resume. I wrote up a new cover letter. I sent everything in. And then they got back to me with like an email with about 8 questions on it. Like just general stuff, like doing a bit of research on the company, telling them some stuff about yourself. And every time I have looked at that email, I have zero desire to do it. And every time I think about leaving my current job and starting a new job, it just makes me feel crazy. Like it sounds kind of pathetic and like the kind of headspace that you get into when you're a teenager, but I do feel like when you go to a whole other world, like coming to the other side of the country, everything's different, and every time I'm new in a new place, it feels like a big deal, and I have to go through all the stages again, and there's something alien about it that I find really hard to explain. But yeah, don't really know if I am ready for a change right now. And it sucks. And I've been looking at these questions for like 3 days now and trying to think about answers and think about doing some research, but then I kind of tell myself like, okay, if this is too much right now, then that's fine. Just we don't have to do it. It's not the end of the world if I don't fill in this form. So I just won't do it. But that's the sneaky thing with anxiety brains. Not doing it also makes me anxious. And I just keep thinking like, Eleanor, your deadline is tomorrow. If you don't do it, you are going to regret it. But then I open the email to take a look and I'm like, I can't do that. Oh, it's so annoying. Hopefully I'm just in a bit of a rut. I don't know. I'm such a baby. I feel like I need a holiday, even though I basically only just had one. I just want to stay at home and play Skyrim all day. And drink some tea. And play with the cat. Being an adult is kind of hard, huh? Okay, that's about all I have to say. It's Monday, so 4 more days of work. Woo! Okay, Love you guys. Bye bye. Hello. I just wanted to come on here without overthinking it too much and just kind of speak, because I've been having a few bad days and today's probably the worst day, and I feel a little bit like we only show the good days to each other on the internet most of the time, and I don't want to be like that. I want everyone to think that I am a certain way, you know. Does that even make sense? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. It's like I have a journal, right? And I only ever write in the journal when I'm not feeling good. And if anyone was to read that journal, they would think that I'm a very depressing person, which I'm not. It's just the only side of me that that book sees. So yeah, I'm having a day. My cat is just watching me. Newly. She's so sweet. Okay. So yeah, I've been having some really bad anxiety days. It's been like a really long time since I've actually had anxiety symptoms, like physical symptoms. And today they just kind of hit around midday at work. I felt like I was vibrating, and I felt like, you know, nauseous, and it's really hard to understand anxiety when you're not feeling it. But it feels a little bit like imagine there's a room full of people, and then there's you, and you're the only one wearing a suit of armor. That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm very good at analogies. Yeah, so when I'm like this, I tend to just sit in my own little personal bubble and not really talk to anyone or feel like talking to anyone or be able to hold a conversation or connect with another human being. And I just kind of want to sit in my cupboard. So yeah, I'm just I think I've been feeling really overwhelmed recently, and when your brain kind of slips into anxiety mode, it will make things up for you to be sad and nervous about. Like, there's things that I'm fine with, and you know, if I try and talk to people about them, then they'll try and justify things, and I'm like, I know all that, it doesn't help me. And like, if people say do breathing exercises, and yeah, that's great. If I'm feeling a little anxiety, then I can do some breathing exercises and some grounding exercises, and it's going to make me feel better. But if I'm having like those days where I feel like I'm in a hole, then I'm just breathing in a hole. So yeah, it feels quite inescapable. And I feel like when I'm like this, it's very similar to when you get sick, and it doesn't matter how much lemon tea you drink, and it doesn't matter how many blankets you wear and hot baths you take, you know that you're going to be like this for a few days, and you just have to kind of look after yourself until it gets better. So that's what I'm doing, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I've been feeling like quite overwhelmed with aging. That probably sounds weird. Like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be the age that I am. I mean, I'm 30 now, and that doesn't feel right. And I've been feeling a lot like everything needs to slow the hell down. Like, I need to go back to being in my early 20s. I'm not unhappy with anything that's going on. I just feel like everything's gone too fast, and I want to be drinking with my friends and bumming around, maybe I don't know. It's like I don't want to go back to university. I don't want to do anything that's not what I'm doing. But miss I miss things. I miss my friends. Yeah, it sucks. Trying not to be a weenie about this. It's kind of hard. Also, next month I've got thyroid stuff going on again. I've got to have another ultrasound on it, which might mean I have to have another biopsy, which is terrible. So I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah, I don't tend to communicate these feelings very often with anybody. Even when I had a therapist, I felt like I didn't really communicate properly with them. So it is really touch and go whether I will actually use this footage, but I thought I'd just sit down and film anyway, and if this makes it onto the internet, then I'm surprised. Yeah. I feel like every time see, this is the problem. Every time I try and talk about things, I get like a tennis ball in my throat and the words don't come out. And then if I stop trying to talk about it, then the tennis ball goes away and then it's fine and I can talk about nonsense and it's all good and it's all fine. But then the minute I try and talk about things that the words aren't gonna come out. It's so stupid, man. Maybe it's practice. I don't know. I feel like I want to tell an anecdote from the back spider cobweb nooks of my cranium. So in the UK, cities and towns are full of buildings, usually quite old buildings, and it's not that common to build new ones because there's already so many. And if you want to open something, you will open it in a pre-existing building. That makes sense? So over here you see like, oh, they're opening a new Taco Bell, so they're gonna start building it. Yeah, if they opened a Taco Bell in England, which I don't think they will, they would shut down a cafe and open the Taco Bell in that cafe. You know? So over here there's like a style of building for different franchises. So you'll see like the McDonald's buildings, and they're apparently iconic, even though I've never seen them before. I just see McDonald's in an old building, an abbey, the McAbbey. Anyway, so growing up, I never understood the Pizza Hut logo. Why? Because that's not what our Pizza Huts look like. I thought the Pizza Hut logo was a hat, and I never really understood why it was a hat. I thought maybe it might be some kind of terrible pun, like Pizza Hat. I don't know, man. Yeah, so every time we went to Pizza Hut, didn't really get it. It was just Pizza Hut with a hat on top. Turns out that that's the roof of Pizza Huts in America. That's what the roof looks like. That's why that's on the logo. And with no context, it doesn't really mean anything. I feel like I'm not the only one. Please tell me I'm not the only one. So yeah, I finally saw Pizza Huts over here, and all the pieces came together. All the slices came together. And I had this realization that it is not a hat. That's an interesting story, isn't it? What even is this video, man? If you've made it this far, then thanks. I appreciate that. Yay! There you go. Say hi. She loves a nick. Dakota's gonna go mad when he sees that I've done this. Yeah, blaze it. That's enough. She's gonna be chill all night now. Yes. Nope, that's enough. That's enough. Okay. Oh, say goodbye. Manol, no claws. No. Say goodbye. Bye guys. Love you. Manol loves you. Noodly tummy. Wiggle wiggle.